In a chilling display of the harsh realities of the justice system, young children are confronted with the concept of life sentences. Their innocent reactions reveal the brutal impact of such punishments on their tender minds, highlighting the need for a more compassionate approach to justice. This thought-provoking glimpse into the lives of these kids serves as a stark reminder of the lasting consequences of our actions. In recent years, there have been shocking cases of young individuals involved in horrific crimes that have left a lasting impact on society. These tragic incidents shed light on the devastating consequences of such acts, not only for the victims and their families, but also for the perpetrators themselves. This article delves into two chilling cases involving Nemia Griot and Sierra HTH, exploring the events leading up to their crimes, the shocking details of their actions, and the legal repercussions they faced. On the night of January 19, 2013, Nehemiah Griegos, a 15-year-old boy, committed a mass shooting that claimed the lives of 5 members of his own family. Nehemiah used 2 different weapons to shoot and kill his parents and 3 younger siblings. The innocent cries of his younger sisters added to the heart-wrenching tragedy. Nehemiah's actions didn't end there. He waited for his father to return home and ruthlessly shot him multiple times. After the terrible act, he even drove to church with 2 rifles in the van and deceived his girlfriend by claiming his family had died in an accident. Thankfully, the pastor and a retired homicide detective sensed something was wrong and called 911. Nehemiah later confessed to having suicidal and homicidal thoughts, revealing his sinister plans to murder more people and engage in a gun battle with the police. As a minor at the time of the crime, Nehemiah Griego was initially proposed to be sentenced in a family court. However, this decision was appealed, and he was ultimately sentenced as an adult in October 2015. Nehemiah Griego pleaded guilty to 2 counts of degree murder and 3 counts of child abuse resulting in death. Despite his sister's tearful pleas for remorse, Nehemiah expressed his regret for his actions, acknowledging the irreversible nature of his crimes. In August 2019, Nehemiah Griego was sentenced to 3 concurrent life sentences plus 7 years, with a minimum of 30 years before being eligible for parole. Sierra Halseth and Aaron Guerrero, a shocking crime that shook the nation. In 2021, the nation was left in disbelief by the horrific crime committed by Sierra Halseth and Aaron Guerrero. The teenagers admitted to the killing of Sierra's father, 45-year-old Daniel Halseth, in Las Vegas. The investigation revealed gruesome details of the crime, as the teenagers brutally stabbed Daniel more than 70 times and attempted to dismember his body before setting it on fire. The case came to light when Daniel H's burnt body was discovered in his garage on April 9, 2021. Sierra and Aaron were detained 4 days later in Salt Lake City, forever altering the course of their lives. While the crimes committed by Sierra and Aaron were abhorrent, their conduct following the murder left the public speechless. A disturbing video circulated, showing both teens joking about the heinous act they had committed. This callous behavior further highlighted the chilling nature of their crimes and raised questions about their moral compasses. During the court proceedings, Sierra Halseth read a letter to the judge, detailing instances of alleged sexual abuse and harassment she endured from her father. She described him as a drug addict and a vile individual. While not all of her claims could be corroborated, her defense attorney acknowledged that there must have been underlying reasons for such a terrible act. On the other hand, Aaron Guerrero expressed remorse for his involvement in Daniel Halseth's killing. He apologized to the victim's family, acknowledging the horrifying manner in which Daniel Halseth had passed away. On October 20, 2022, District Judge Tiara Jones sentenced Sierra and Guerrero to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 22 years. They were also ordered to pay $5,000 in restitution. The family members of the victim expressed their anger and grief during the hearing, stating that they wished Sierra had received the death penalty. The pain and anguish caused by the actions of these young individuals cannot be understated, leaving society grappling with the question of how to address such unimaginable crimes committed by juveniles. In October 2013, 14-year-old Philip Chisholm committed a heinous act of murder in Massachusetts. Philip Chisholm brutally took the life of his 24-year-old Danvers High School teacher, Colleen Ritzer, using a box cutter. The horrifying attack was partially captured on surveillance footage, revealing the chilling nature of the crime. After the murder, Chisholm callously rolled Ritzer's lifeless body out of the school in a recycling bin, with the intention of burying her in the woods. Adding to the shock, Chisholm used his teacher's credit card to buy a movie ticket that same night. During the sentencing in Salem Superior Court, Ms. Ritzer's family, friends, and colleagues shared heart-wrenching statements about their beloved daughter and colleague. Her father, Tom, expressed his devastation at not being able to protect his daughter and undo the tragedy that had occurred. Ms. Ritzer's mother, Peggy, described Chisholm in strong terms, referring to him as pure evil and stating that evil can never be rehabilitated. The courtroom was filled with grief and anger as the impact of this horrific crime was laid bare. Throughout the court proceedings, Philip Chisholm showed no emotion and appeared detached from the gravity of his actions. The siblings of Miss Ritzer also expressed their strong disdain for Philip Chisholm, urging the court to impose the maximum possible sentence. The judge acknowledged the severity of the crime and imposed a mandatory life sentence with parole eligibility after 25 years. The chilling behavior displayed by Chisholm during the proceedings shocked everyone present, highlighting the depth of his depravity. In March 2015, Jacob Matthew Morgan, a 17-year-old autistic individual, was charged with murder and arson. Morgan started a fire that tragically claimed the life of his 14-month-old half-brother, Joshua Hill. The nature of Morgan's offense was horrifying, but his actions during the sentencing proceedings managed to shock those in attendance. Morgan tearfully pleaded guilty to starting the fire that took Joshua's life, but his parents staunchly defended his innocence. They insisted that he loved his younger brother and would never intentionally harm him. According to Morgan's mother, Julie Hill, he was asleep when the fire broke out, and they believe he was prevented from rescuing Joshua by neighbors who held him back. They firmly believed that he would never hurt his brother, especially considering his disabilities. The case presented conflicting narratives, with investigators claiming that Morgan exhibited malice by not calling for help or attempting to save Joshua during the fire. They also pointed to previous incidents involving Morgan's fascination with fire. However, his parents maintained that his actions were a result of his disabilities and the chaotic nature of the situation. Despite the tragic circumstances, the court had to consider the consequences of Morgan's actions. Eventually, he received a life sentence with parole eligibility after 25 years. The courtroom was filled with a mix of sorrow and confusion, as the reactions displayed by Morgan and his family left everyone grappling with the complexities of the case. In November 2016, 18-year-old Matthew Borges faced charges of first-degree murder for the killing of his high school classmate, 16-year-old Lee Manuel Voria Polino. Borges committed the heinous act out of jealousy, as the victim had spent time with a girl Borges liked. Borges was sentenced to life in prison with parole eligibility in 30 years. During the sentencing, Voria Polino's mother tearfully testified about her beloved son, expressing her grief and the devastating impact of the senseless act.
Despite whatever sentence is decided upon, we understand that nothing will bring legal back to us. However, we feel that this criminal deserves to spend his life incarcerated. So at very least, it serves to keep him off the streets. He should never have the opportunity to kill again.
Jeremiah King, then only 16, was involved in unlawful activities with 5 friends in 2015, including breaking into cars and homes. When confronted by Albuquerque bartender Stephen Geeky, King fatally shot him in his driveway. During the sentencing, King and his friends were seen smiling and showed no remorse for their actions. King was sentenced to spend the next 25 years behind bars, with the judge expressing doubts about his genuine remorse.
The family followed court proceedings closely, hoping for justice for Garrick.
I will never have him back.
Bernalillo County District Court Judge Brett Lovelace could have put the shooter behind bars for 30 years. Instead, King got 25 at his sentencing, where he promised to change his ways.
I can't do much but say sorry. I could prove it by doing good while I'm in prison.
In 2011, 17-year-old Tyler Hadley brutally murdered his parents with a hammer at their home in Florida. He then concealed their bodies and carried on with a party at his house, using his deceased parents' credit cards to fund it. Hadley confessed to the crime to some of his friends during the party. He was initially sentenced to life imprisonment without parole, but was resentenced in 2018 to life with the possibility of parole. Hadley's demeanor in court was unsettling, as he showed little remorse for his actions.
I can apologize or make amends for the horrible acts I've done, that I committed. I just want everyone to know that I am truly sorry for the acts I committed, and I love and care deeply for all of them.
Aiden Fucci, then 14 years old, stabbed his classmate Tristan Bailey over 100 times in 2021.
According to jail officials with new material we've just received, according to records obtained by First Coast News, Aiden Fucci has threatened violence against correction officers and other inmates and allegedly bragged about his crime. Tonight in our top story on First Coast News at 5, Fucci is charged with murdering 13-year-old Tristan Bailey by stabbing the St. Johns County teenager more than 100 times.
Fucci showed no remorse for the brutal slaying and even made callous remarks after the murder. He was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of appeal within 30 days. The judge emphasized the seriousness of the crime and expressed doubts about Fucci's potential for rehabilitation.
I just want to say I plead out guilty, and I'm sorry for the Bailey family and my family.
Jasmia and Tasmia Whitehead were charged with the murder of their mother in 2010. The twins brutally beat her with a vase and stabbed her multiple times.
Bit me with my chest. I could tell I'm not that big, so when she bit me, she latched on to me, and I'm trying to get her off of me because it hurts. I'm trying to punch her, I guess, and I think Dad stabbed her.
I wish it didn't happen like that. I wish I could have saw something else to do. I wish I did. Sorry.
They denied committing the crime, but evidence, including bite marks, pointed to their involvement. Jasmia and Tasmia pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter and received 30-year prison sentences.
That is the maximum the court can award or can sentence to under these charges.
They are currently serving their sentences in separate prisons. If you enjoy our content and would like to stay updated, we'd be thrilled if you could hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to us. Thanks for your support.